want to get back out to North Carolina, where at least 7 homes have collapsed this week. This is a live picture from where Katie Byrne is, and we just had another collapse. And that was what we were always worried about, right? Katie Byrne standing in front of this home all afternoon, and the creaking sounds it was making as she reported. And now that high tide and that high surf has caused it to collapse. Our now 8th home that has collapsed. And Katie, we have you live, so I'm going to bring you in now. Katie, this home falling, take us through what those moments were like.
Well, Jane, I'm standing out of the way so you can get a full picture of what we're seeing here. But of course, you started to hear the creaking and the snapping sounds of the wood, and then all of a sudden, just in a matter of seconds, the house fell down onto its pilings. So now you're seeing that house leaning onto the greenhouse next door. This is now the 8th house to come down, and you're seeing parts of the house get wrapped up in all of this water. So all of this debris, as we watch this house move closer to the shore, and this is really the first time we're getting the opportunity to see how powerful this water is, powerful enough to shred up a home and turn it into the debris that you're seeing. Now the 8th one to add to this field of debris that's now growing. Wow. Okay, so we're watching the back decks of the home now float away. You can see lawn chairs on the deck as well. Of course, this is someone's house. Many of these homes, vacation homes here in the community. I haven't been able to get in touch with owners of the homes here. It doesn't sound like many of them are local to the area, but there are property managers who live here and take care of these homes. So there is a sentimental component to the local community too, who may not live in these homes but take care of them. Maybe they work in construction, they worked on these homes too. We're watching the bottom deck of that home floating in the water. You could see the top deck. Looks like that's about to go next, and that house is continuing to shift and turn and get closer to us along with the water. We just got past high tide here. It was around 4:20. And now we're watching this house sway into the ocean, the 8th one to be swallowed by the sea. This all started on Tuesday. We had 5 homes collapse in a matter of 1 hour. Then we had a 6th collapse that night at low tide. A 7th collapsed last night, also at low tide. High tide is when people get really concerned here in the community, because we have this water getting very, very close to now the 2nd row of homes, which is essentially turned into the waterfront homes here. And so you're seeing the 1st row of homes, we still have at least 10 of them, have been submerged in the water for 3 days. And now that we're in high tide, this water has gotten only closer to this next row of homes. We were able to walk on this beach earlier today at low tide. Obviously, that's not possible right now as you watch all of the community members here showing up to see what we're seeing, which is an 8th home now collapsing into the ocean. The cleanup, as you can imagine, is going to be extensive. And you have to wonder if the state of this house that we're seeing, I mean, you have to imagine it's leaning up against that greenhouse. If we're going to have a 9th now go down. These pilings are compromised really at all of the houses that we're looking at here. You can see some pilings are completely gone. Some are on a slant. Some are just giving way from the powerful waves, the relentless waves that have been slamming into this region for not only this swell event that's now lasted 3 days, but also Hurricane Erin. We had a collapse here as well. So they just finished cleaning up that debris from 1 home. And now they have at least 8 homes in pieces. That crews were on the ground with the county. Dare County officials were here. We spoke with the commissioners, trying to figure out where they go from here. You're watching this house just float in the water. It's unbelievable. It was on pilings. Those pilings cracked and snapped, and everybody shrieked. And now this house is just kind of moving with the waves at times and pushing further into that greenhouse next door. Jane, we've got a lot of people outside. I mean, it's quiet. No one's really saying anything. I think that people feel like it's a sad situation. Even if they didn't live in the homes and there weren't permanent residents there, they're vacation homes. You can see for rent signs rented as recently as a month ago. It is someone's home.
Yeah.
And there are memories and belongings that are floating in the water right now, Jane.
Katie, it really is heartbreaking. I mean, you say it so perfectly. This is someone's home. This is someone's livelihood, whether it be, just a vacation home. Memories have been made here. And it's very sad. It's stunning to see the power of these waves take that home off its pilings and now just shift as that tide continues to pull in. And the question will be, you're right, how does this hold up as it leans against the house next to it, the green home there? You had mentioned earlier that there are a number of homes that were compromised at this point. It was the one that fell, obviously, that was of greatest concern for falling.